What you've got and what you're going to get. If you take nothing else away from this, understand this very basic set of concepts. At least, again, if you're talking about anybody, any client that has to participate in one of these means-tested benefit programs. Almost all programs will count income and resources. And the failure to distinguish between the two is a very common misunderstanding, certainly among, in my experience in working with attorneys who work in this area. But they mean different things, and they have implications, for example, on whether you structure. You use some type of a structured arrangement. A resource is something that you have in the form of cash or something that you can reduce to cash to pay your bills, especially to pay the things that you're asking the benefit program to pay for instead. Cash is a resource. Stock is a resource. A house is a resource. Your clothes are a resource. The table in your kitchen is a resource. Cash value of life insurance. Anything with value is a resource. Some resources have preferential status. A house where you or a family member lives could be the Taj Mahal. The Medicaid and SSI programs don't count that resource as available in determining your ongoing eligibility. A car that you drive or that somebody in your household drives, it's exempt. They don't count it. Clothes on your back, they don't count it. Kitchen table, they don't count it. After I've backed off all of those exempt resources, then what I'm left with is measured against the resource limit for the program I'm applying for. Is your client a participant in the SSI program? Well, then they can't have more than $2,000 in the bank after I've backed out those exempt numbers. That's a resource. These programs take a picture of what their resources are at the first of the month. Then the programs, most of them, certainly SSI and Medicaid, count income. Income is different. Income is what you're going to get during the course of the month. A Social Security check, wages, interest, dividends, an annuity payment from a structured settlement. That is income. There are very few income disregards. De minimis gifts that are given on a sporadic basis, they don't count that. But everything else is counted. Everything that you get over the course of the month is considered income. What you don't have in income, what you haven't spent in income, I should say, becomes a resource the first of the following month. What's the hypothetical? I don't have a nickel to my name on January 1st. On January 15th, I get a $1,000 Social Security check. I spend $500 of that check on my bills that month. On February 1st, my resources are $500 that's left over. Medicaid and SSI do that determination every single month. Resources income, resources income. Other programs only count one of those. Your Section 8 subsidy, it counts only income. EPIC program, prescription drug assistance in the state of New York, only income. Well, if you understand the difference between income and resources, then you won't say to me, can I get around the benefit eligibility problem by using a structured settlement? You can if the first payment on the structure doesn't begin until 21, because they don't have a problem until they're 21. And then the payments, if they come on a monthly basis, are income. And I have to measure the income against the income limit for the program that they're participating in. Are they participating in the SSI program? You expect that they're going to live independently. What's their income limit? $760 a month in New York. So you can use a structure to defer the problem, but you do not take away the problem. You just convert a resource problem into an income problem. Now, table that for a second, because if you have the structure paid into a special needs trust, which is the typical way to deal with permanent need for fiduciary oversight and benefits, then whether the income comes in as a resource, whether the income comes in, or whether it's placed in as a resource, either way, it's protected within the shell of the special needs trust. I'll talk about those in a minute. But you have to understand the difference between income and resources. And if you're settling smaller cases, as I'll hopefully have time to deal with at the end of the program, you'll see that there may be ways to avoid the consequences or the need to set up a trust altogether. It's simple stuff if you think about it intuitively.